Uh, 120p. Oh,
Hey yo, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to another Del Toro live stream. It's a special stream, going back to that sort of chat format, I think, which I haven't done for a while. So it's interesting to get back to it, and I'm happy to say that I'll be joined by two talented individuals from Papua New Guinea. That includes Mr. Munchies Strike, aka Richard. So
Hey,
welcome Munchies.
yes, good evening. Thank you. Thanks for having me on your stream. I'm so excited to be here. Yes,
Good to
thank
see
you.
you, bro. It's been a while, so it's
Yeah, good
good
to
to
see
have
you
you.
too. Yes, it's been a very long while. Yeah, haven't been gaming, but I maybe game here and there, but not been streaming lately. But yeah, I think I'll get back to that
Okay, good.
streaming sometime soon. Mm.
Whenever you can, when you have the spare time.
Yeah, yes.
But I should also mention we are also joined by Bonzeye92 on YouTube. So welcome Bonzai or Bonnie.
yes. Thanks again, Del, for having me on again tonight. Really happy to jump on again and just discuss anything nerdy and gaming related with you guys. Always happy to have a talk
Just to
about this stuff.
discuss some nerdy stuff together.
Yeah. Always. I love talking about this stuff. So thanks
All right,
again, Del,
cool,
for inviting me over.
cool. So I'll maybe I'll because we've met Bonsai a few months ago. How long was that, Bonnie? How long did we have
Yeah,
a
it
stream?
wasn't that long. Beginning of, well, no, actually late last year,
Was it late
I
last year?
released
Okay, so that's a
the
while.
video of it. Yeah, so oh no, actually it's been a while. It's over 6 months now. Actually, now that I think, but time flies, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but
um, like, I'll let Bonnie like describe what he does, and but I think most of our viewers have probably seen the video. If not, maybe Bonnie, you could just share a
go again.
brief sort
Yeah,
of background about yourself, on what you do.
all right, no worries. So yeah, I'm basically like like you said, content creator from Papua New Guinea. I'm basically when it comes to making content, I primarily make content on YouTube. Lately I've started uploading some like pictures and stuff to Facebook, but I'm primarily in terms of like content creation, I make videos on YouTube. As to what specific type of videos, that's a wide range. So like yes, I do a lot of like gaming stuff, particularly strategy gaming related,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll sometimes dabble in other things. Like for example, I recently released two videos in 7 Days to Die, which is a horde based crafting Minecraft, but with better graphics and zombies, basically.
Oh,
So
right.
that's a game that I recently got into with some friends, and I released some videos on that.
What's
Other than
that
that,
called?
though,
What
I
was that
just
one?
like 7 Days to Die.
7 Days to Die.
7 Days to Die.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
So it's a pretty good game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Our friend who's another YouTuber as well. Sorry, YouTuber. He's streams on Facebook. His name's Mix. He's the one that
Yep.
got me into the game. Yeah,
Yep.
we
Shout out to Mix.
actually released the video. Yeah, shout out to Mix. So yeah, and then but primarily I'm a strategy gamer as far as gaming concerns. But on my channel, other than gaming stuff, I also would like to talk about like technology stuff. I'm a computer science major at UPG, so sometimes I like technology in general is my interest. I like to talk about like AI and stuff like that. So I
Mm-hmm.
may from time to time occasionally release videos on that. And the other thing I have primarily have on my channel is reaction videos. So I like
Right.
to take YouTube videos that are pretty popular and have friends of mine react to those videos, whether it be trailer reactions or just like stuff related to other things I find interesting. Like, for example, my favorite franchise, Warhammer 40K, which the picture is right there behind my image, you can see.
You can see that.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so it's like technology stuff, geeky stuff, and also stuff about Papua New Guinea if I can. Sometimes I'll
Right.
release some content about that. So
And you
yeah, more or
combine
less,
it as well with some gaming
yeah,
stuff, and
combine it with some gaming stuff.
which
So it's sort
is
of
cool.
around those three: it's PNG, gaming, and yeah, reaction videos about YouTube pop culture in general.
Right. Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Um, we will definitely be discussing more on YouTube and what that entails, and how you sort of maybe little things you struggled with, or challenges and things like that. But
Mhm.
let me just try and ask Munchies just to give a little bit of a background on yourself, Munchies. And I should mention Munchies is also on Facebook, so go check out Munchies Facebook page. The link should be in the description, as well as Bonnie's YouTube page. Yeah, and we are streaming to YouTube, by the way, so feel free to check that out as well.
Yes, yes, nice. As Del has mentioned, I'm a game streamer as well. Not 100% game streamer, but a starting streamer. I've been just on and off. Yep, Munchies is my gaming tag, my gaming name. I also am a filmmaker. I took part in some filming here in Melbourne, Australia, and gave me the desire to go and study filming. So I studied filming here in Melbourne, filming and photography actually. So from there, yes, I've done some photography and some short films as well. Some of the short films that I've been trying to do are short films that bring positive messages to the community, especially the PAJ community, like messages about family violence, domestic violence. Some of those messages in the short films where they speak to us to do the right thing and stay away from violence, or there are other ways that we can prevent violence.
Right.
Or or if we are going through stuff, we can always talk to someone or seek help.
So like
So that's
social issues, you try to
yes, yes, yes.
touch on social issues. Yep.
It's
Yes,
great.
yes,
It's great.
yes, yes. So one of my short films called Daddy did its well. We actually that short film that we shot was like a small house project.
Right.
We just like pulled out the camera and stuff, and it was unscripted. We I shot with my daughter. She was 6 at that time, and we made a short film of 4 minutes long.
Okay.
And we decided, why not we send it out to the festivals?
Right.
And actually got accepted to some festivals. And one of the
Nice.
festivals, I think it's in India or something. Yeah, we won 3 awards from that festival.
It's the
And
one in the chat.
Awesome. Okay.
and the other one was we were one of the finalists here in the Gold Coast. One of the film festivals in Gold Coast, up in Queensland. And to come that far was a really like it was a big surprise for us because we didn't think it was just a home project. No professional crew and all that. But I think the message in that film was very unique, and that's one of the great things that I feel good about as a Papua New Guinean. And but I'm working on some other films at the moment, and like what Bonzai said, I also like to critique films, even these like Hollywood films that come out.
Oh,
I sort of like watch and try
critique.
to critique.
I do movie reviews too.
Yeah.
We need to
I
do
I
a
But
joint.
on a more,
yeah
there are some things I could say, but that are not on YouTube, maybe.
yeah. True, yeah. Even like I actually go to the extent of writing some of the reviews on Google, but yeah, what is good. Yeah, so that's just a little bit about myself. I'm based here in Melbourne, and yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you, bro. And
No
now,
worries.
so where can people go to watch your videos? You also have YouTube and all the social
I
media.
have YouTube. Yes, so the Daddy Film is on YouTube right now. So
I
I
think I
think
found it. I posted it in the
the
chat.
link, yeah, the link that you I think shared,
Okay,
the
in the
Facebook
chat
one
there. Yep.
has my film on it. So yeah, it's free to watch now. It's only 4 minutes long. Yeah, it's called Daddy, so people can
Okay.
go on there and
Nice.
watch it. Yeah,
Thanks, Bonnie, for
yeah.
posting that. And
Oh, yeah,
Rusty
thanks.
also, welcome to the stream. Rusty's in the chat and talk Mchole. signature
Yeah,
signature statement from Rusty there. Thanks, bro.
Nice.
it's
Yeah,
always
go ahead.
nice to hear like other Papua New Guineans like making content, and like for me, I guess I'm not really into the making like the most serious kind of stuff, but I definitely have a lot of appreciation and respect for people who make this type of content that you're making, bro. So I commend you for that, bro. I think it's
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Nice. And what's anything else on the horizon, Munchies? While you were on your content.
Well, right now with my content, I'm working with an organization here in Victoria. It's called like hashtag It's Not Our Culture. So they are an organization where they, pretty much have the same vision as what I was talking about, like bringing awareness to family violence,
Right.
domestic violence, and all those social or gender-based violence issues in the Pacific.
Oh, in the Pacific.
So far with them, we've created about maybe three short films. It should be on the page now. So that's what I've been doing lately in terms of video and
Film and video.
filming.
Yeah.
But right now I am working on a script.
Okay.
It's a very unique one for me because this script it's gonna be my first feature film to film back in PNG.
Okay.
Right.
And
Nice.
I said it's important to me because it's the love story of my mom and dad.
Oh wow.
Back
Okay.
in
Oh wow.
I haven't actually like come out publicly with it, but I think this is the first time I'm saying
Okay.
it. But
Okay.
I'm probably halfway with the script, and I'm like sort of working closely with my dad to pick up the like the details of what happened during that back in the 60s when he was trying to
60s.
run away with my mom, and so my
Different
aim,
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those days where it was like just go and get your girlfriend and run away, or your parents was kind of say makim you are like they
Right.
choose a wife for your son, or
Yeah.
back in those days, those are really strong.
It's different days.
Yeah, it's
So
really different
you're
compared
gonna have
to
to try
these
and
days.
get that
So
60s setting, or?
yes. So my aim in this film is a few things. One is it's like gonna show our culture, because I think one of the things that we're gonna be talking, later within, on this stream is about like storytelling in PNG.
Right.
So there's a few things that I wanna achieve with this film is um, show our culture to the world,
Yeah.
and our show a few details of PNG,
Okay.
and I think storytelling is what is like lacking now in PNG, so that the world doesn't really know all the little details about PNG until maybe we can tell those stories in maybe filmmaking,
Yeah. Yeah. In the
and
arts.
so
Yeah.
that's yeah. So I think by the end of next year we should maybe start production if everything goes well.
Okay.
Um,
That's great.
yeah.
And
So
that will be a short video format, or is it gonna be a longer sort of?
it's gonna be a feature film format, so it's probably
Wow.
between
Okay.
an hour to 2 hours long.
Nice. I
So
can't
feature
wait.
length, yeah.
Can't wait for that, bro.
That's great.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's great. That this is something that I did a podcast earlier with this somebody by the name of Pili Pepu. He's also he's a producer, and he tries to produce content, so that basically like a film like yours would have been something he would have loved to have produced.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe even you guys could work together. You haven't necessarily started production, right? And if you're looking for some people, locals to work with, I could even hook you up with Pili, because he's
Yes. Why not?
Which I should mention is our goal, right? To hopefully, like in a week or two, maybe we'll try and sit down with Billy as well, get him in on a live
Yeah,
stream, and
Yeah.
because
discuss some
literally,
topics.
like literally, what you just mentioned is the exact thing that me and him were talking about. I don't know if you saw one of the earlier podcasts that I did with him. We talked about the film industry in Papua New Guinea.
Yes. Yes.
Mm.
He
Yes.
would he would basically love to work with you. I think to basically
Really,
create
really, really.
PNG
Yeah.
content, because we were specifically talking about creating content about Papua New Guinea. Like in a way, it's nice to like have our culture and whatever written in books with photographs and stuff like that,
Yes.
but that
Yes.
doesn't really capture the
That's
real
correct.
one of like PNG. And if you
That is
like,
correct.
films are a really nice way to fully capsulate like
Visually.
not just
Yeah.
like visually, and there's nuances. If you just sort of see the picture and read the words, there's certain nuances though when you hear the sounds too. Like it adds an extra layer to it and allows you to capture more. So like
That's right.
having
That's
like a film, like you said, that captures the culture is like would be a great addition to like
Yes.
the
Yes.
catalog of our people's history and stuff. So I
True.
mean, yeah. So if things want to, I definitely like to hook you up with P. I think
Why
you guys
not?
could
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to collaborate with anyone. You know, it's for the main goal to bring our stories out there. PNG stories. So
Yeah.
I'm happy to work with anyone with the
I
same
reckon
vision.
that'll be a good
Yeah.
good link up for you
Mm.
to meet Billy
Mm.
and maybe you'll learn of each other, pick up a few things off each other, and only good things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
At the very least,
I should
offer
just
advice.
mention just quickly. Rusty says he just subbed to you, Munchies Strike. He just subbed to you, bro. Big fan,
Oh,
bro. He
thank you.
says.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you so
Rusty.
much. Thank you, Rusty.
So
Yeah,
I'll
Rusty.
also mention for our audience, for our viewers, that feel free to ask any questions too. If you have any questions for Bonnie, Munchies, or myself, please fire away, and we'll try and I probably won't stop the discussion too much, but I'll try and address some of those questions if you have any. So yeah. But yeah, going back to Bonnie, you mentioned you did that podcast sort of YouTube video with Pili.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that was
like-
really good to see, and that's what kind of ignited this discussion that we want to try and have with Pili and about the PNG film industry and the state of the industry in overall. So
think,
thanks for doing that video too, bro.
Yeah. I think Rich Omachi, if you check that out, I mean, I don't know, have you seen that video yet?
I don't think so. No.
It's a long, like it's a podcast, just like this long discussion with Pili, and Pili lays out. So Pili, so just so I don't know if the background of Pili is he's basically been trying to produce PNG content for some years now. He worked at he worked at a particular TV, digital TV for a while, and he
No
was
names,
like
no names.
he had access to people who were. He had access to like the background scenes, and he saw them. Essentially, what happened? He had the opportunity to pitch PNG content to these like shows, and some of the ideas he had was to like a game show but set in Papua New Guinea, right? And use like
Oh, yeah.
Wow,
Papua New Guinean
okay.
people to compete, and also to like films and stuff like that. To like he's like he's the producer, and then like he'll pitch these ideas, and if they succeed, then he'll try to organize and get things done. So he kept trying to throw these ideas at them, and I guess ultimately it came down to a lack of. I don't know. I'd say they had the money. The issue was lack of faith. They weren't
Right.
willing to like give
Take
the
the
benefit of the doubt and actually do it. So whether because like once you do it and then if it's successful, then you know that okay, it's successful. Or if it fails, you can learn from your mistake and try again in a better way. But there was nobody was willing to take that first leap of faith.
Right.
So like in a way, but that's like Digicel is a foreign company. They have their issues and stuff. The people who are running it, the executives, I don't think they were locals. So like, yeah, that like I said, lack of faith was there. But if there's someone already there with the money and the willingness like you, and then you're working with a producer like Billy who can connect the dots here and there,
Yes.
I think like things will flow and like can produce content and stuff like that. So yeah, that's sort of his background where he came from, and he also knows he has connections with like people working in the Lay. I think in Lay the country's film institute or something is set not Lay, sorry, Goroka.
Goroka, yeah, yep.
And then like he knows the people there.
Yeah.
Basically, National Film Institute. That's the one. So he's
Oh.
pretty well connected, and he was like taking me through each of these. Like me, someone from the outside, don't really know much about it. I'm just like just a curious soul that just came by and decided to interview him. I met him at the Mosby Theater once when I went to drop off a friend, and then like I just randomly
by
decided,
chance.
hey, do you want to
Just
sit
bumped
down
it.
and have a conversation about it? I just took a chance, and Billy was like willing to like sit down and take a chance on me out of nowhere. And
Okay.
yeah, he was my first big guest, more or less. He wasn't
Nice.
my personal friend.
Right. Right.
Nice. That's
So yeah,
really, I mean, really interesting. I'll, yeah, probably hear, I mean, have a watch
Yeah.
yeah.
of
It's a
that.
good
Yeah.
watch.
So
And
he's been trying. He's I know he's a very passionate person about this, and you definitely sound to be in the same vein as him. So I'd love to connect you guys together.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why not? Why not?
So I
I'm
recommend
happy
I
to.
recommend all our viewers too to check that out as well on Bonnie's channel. But Billy, like just from like glimpses of that discussion you had with him, he's got a wealth of knowledge. Like he's full of knowledge, this guy, and experience. So I can't wait to get him onto like a live stream and really pick his
Yeah,
brain on what's going on in PNG in terms of the film industry.
he,
But it'd be good
Mm.
if Munchies and if Bonnie you can join me as well.
yeah, definitely. He
Yeah.
worked in Australia for almost a decade, I think, or maybe around a decade, and then he came to PNG. So he's got experience from there, brought it
Oh,
over.
that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he was trained in Australia and then he went
yeah,
back up to
that's
PNG and yeah.
because
Yeah, I think yeah, that's really good to hear. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Oh,
I
by the
think there
way,
are people
is
out there
I
Survivor
that
in
think that
PNG? I
I
heard.
think that
Yeah.
PNG has a really big potential in creating content, like as in filming. I mean, filmmaking and all that. We got all the stories.
Yeah.
We got lots of stories. There are like we've got all Tuane Tumbu now Masalai stories number there. We've got the market out there for horror. There are horror themed stories that we can tell
True.
visually for the horror market. We've got um
Mm.
multi or foreign language I mean fans out there who like to watch foreign language films. So I think, I mean, for me especially, I think the thing that we need right now is we need those stories to come out, and I think that PhD has the potential. We've got the people there, and like what Bonsai was saying, some of these people who can help fund it, because we don't have many of those films, or the industry has not had many films come out in the past.
Right.
There could be one or two from some individuals, but that's why
Even
maybe they
expatriates.
think, yeah, yeah.
Even some
So maybe
expatriates.
they because when they say, okay, if I give my funds, am I gonna is this film gonna make money, or is this content gonna have a lot of viewers? They have those sort of questions, and like you're saying, they just needed to have faith,
Yeah.
and
They did.
we just need someone there to say, okay, look, I know this has potential.
Hey, good night,
Here's the
Jets.
funding. Go ahead, and that's it. We just, I mean, like I mean, well, produce, do the production, and then, yeah,
Yeah.
and I think our local TV, I mean local TV stations too need to support our local filmmakers. I know some filmmakers like Mekpoli Koima. He's also a filmmaker in PNG. He made that film called Grace. He directed it. I don't know if you guys watched it,
What's it called?
but I think it was
From Grace.
Grace.
Oh, Grace. Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, I
the
the
didn't
Grace.
Booker
watch it,
one.
but I've heard of that.
The one in
Yeah, so
Bougainville.
it's
Oh.
no, it's
Oh.
I think it was set in I don't know, Hagen or something,
Oh.
in
Okay.
Mount
Okay.
Hagen,
Yeah.
about a
Oh,
girl who
nice.
was she was young.
So
She was passionate about going to school, but her family needed money, so they wanted to give her away to this landowner or businessman or something.
oh
Oh. All right.
yeah.
And
Gotcha.
yeah, so those sort of stories, it was a really good production.
Right.
What's a really good film? I think it took a while for, I don't know if it aired on, well, I don't want to mention names, but I think it aired on one of the
On
TV
TV.
networks.
Right.
but it sort of came out as a series, so they were airing it in sections.
Oh,
It was a
okay.
full like 2 hour long movie, but they showed it like in, I don't know, 30-minute sections every week or
Snippets, yeah.
something.
Can we watch it on YouTube?
Um,
Is it on YouTube?
yes, it is. It is on YouTube.
Okay.
It is on YouTube, and
So,
I mean that film, even though like it was really short. I mean the story was there. Um, we could from there, it just sort of tells me that PNG has a lot of potential in terms of just not making films, but we got actors that I think
Oh, Eric, thanks for the
who
like.
can really do a
Rusty,
good
thank you for
job
the share
in
and the like.
acting, and um, yeah,
Okay.
and in terms of quality, video. I mean, quality. We have a lot of PNG content creators that some they create music videos
Mm, mm.
that I see that they have an understanding of composition of their shots, color grading and all that,
Yeah.
and I know that, I mean, they're out there. There's like people like Khalidi, there's Jerry Albaniel, who's really good with his
oh, yeah, I know Jerry too.
camera works, his drone footage and all that. So
Yeah. Awesome stuff.
the skill of people are there, and I think if we link those things up with storytelling,
Mm.
I think we should really come up with massive things, and these
True.
sort of stories are this I mean, we can really create great films.
I think, yeah, I think it's
Um,
only a matter of time.
a matter
But
of time. Yeah.
some things are maybe gonna happen, and maybe Pilly's one of those
Mm.
people that could have that
Yeah,
insight
yeah, yeah,
into,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Like
what can
this.
really push it along, push the industry along.
Yes, true.
But this you see
I'm
amateurs
happy
like
to. Yeah.
making stuff on Facebook, right? Remember I sent you that
Yes,
that
I
people
I
are
am
doing
so
like
I saw that
funny
one,
videos and
and I was really impressed because, like I mentioned at the time, the idea was there. They have the vision,
yeah,
they have the story, and it was like catchy.
yeah,
It was, some videos where you just watch and after 1 minute, scroll past that. But
yeah. But this one
the
actually,
video, even though they must have used the phone camera or maybe a cheap camera or something, but the story was there, and
Story carried.
yeah, I was very impressed. Yes.
yeah, I'm trying to find
Yeah.
what page it was so I can give him a shout out. But they're on Facebook and
Yeah,
it's
true. Yeah.
they had even like special effects. I don't know
They even have
what
like special
software they
effects.
used. Yeah,
You can well with that effects days you can probably do that on like Final Cut Pro
right, right. So they must
or
have been using a
something. Yeah,
laptop,
yeah.
or were they just using their phone? You think?
Some phones have like really good editors.
Maybe they could they probably must have been using a camera or a
Right.
phone. I'm not sure, but I think maybe once they upload to Facebook, the Facebook sort of reduce the, I mean, quality
Yeah.
of the resolution.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. The
yeah,
resolution wasn't. It didn't look too
yeah,
great,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it still you could still
It's
tell.
still, I mean, yeah.
Yeah. What they were trying
The
to
story was really good. Yeah.
trying to achieve. So can you
Mm.
imagine them with some type of training or education around filming, and then the more quality equipment? They could actually come up with some good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. True.
So it's
Yeah.
it's a shame that they don't have access to that, or it'll probably just be like for fun now, and then it'll just die off. Nothing will happen. Whereas
You
if they had
know,
that avenue where they could, hone in their skills, they could even
The
become like filmmakers.
infrastructure to build on.
a really good example, I would say, is the music industry. I think about 20, 30 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
we had only CHM doing all the recording for music,
Right.
like
Yeah.
CHM, Pacific Gold Studios. Nobody, everyone who wanted to record their songs or whatever went to CHM.
True. True.
20 years
Monopoly.
forward or 30 years forward now, everyone who has a computer at home, every kid who has a computer at home and has like music software, Fruity Loops or whatever, Logic Pro, are producing music now.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Yes. There's a
that's a
lot.
good example of how the music industry, or like say, I mean, producing music in PNG, evolved in PNG. And I think if it, I mean, I think the same thing really might happen to like PNG film industry.
Mm, mm.
But like you're saying,
Eventually.
we're not just there yet in terms of the knowledge or the experience in
Yeah.
terms of
Yeah.
or equipment. Um, and and I think maybe if we have people to run maybe some short training or short courses
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
or even like people from overseas to come to PNG, allow
Yeah.
like these production companies from overseas to come in and shoot films in PNG, get volunteers to or get PNG people to go and work on the production set. They gain experience from there.
Right.
People start, or even maybe you can get people from PNG come down here and work with. We could have a program where PNG students could come down to Australia and work with
Yes.
Australian
That's it.
production companies. Let's say, and maybe 3 months they be there on the set,
Yeah.
maybe run, fold cables or stuff like that. But and then they're like watching
Like
how a
sponges
film is being,
soaking up
yeah,
that info. Yeah.
or like a TV show, like a game show. Like right now, the biggest game show in Australia is the $1 Million Island. I don't know if it's airing in PNG, but um, that like I mean, show is pretty big now. And
Mm-hmm.
if like we had people from PNG come down and just go and work on this, I mean, production sets, gain some knowledge,
That's it.
gain some, and then when they go back to PNG, they
They
once
can
people
apply it.
start making films, they just apply that knowledge.
Right.
I did film school here about a year,
Mm-hmm.
and during that time we did 6 months of like course, and then 6 months of they sending us out to production companies, and I actually learned a lot working with these big production companies. At some stage, I was the assistant to one of the camera guys, but the only thing I did was run him water. I had to every time he wanted water, I go, yep, yep. I was
Yeah.
running back to the SK, bringing him water. I'd never when like filming started, I never touched the camera or anything, but I
Mm.
was just there watching.
And just watching.
And
Yeah.
I think towards the end of because these were like big like professional
Productions.
productions, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And they knew like there were like students there. There were some other students who were working with other like in the script department or the hair and makeup, but I was in the camera department. And one of the times all I did was run water. And I mean, I'm not saying that was a bad experience. I'm saying I was really thankful to that, because
Yeah.
even just running water,
You're
I
able
saw
to
a lot.
pick up some
I
things.
saw a
Yeah.
lot happening.
Yeah.
And some of these guys are really great. They sort of and you ask a lot of questions,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they like a lot of questions, and they like to
Yeah.
give you
Okay.
information. And I
At
think that
least.
really helped me a lot. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Valuable
Um,
experience. Valuable
yeah, yeah, yeah.
insight into like the functioning. How they operate.
Yes. Hey, please. This. I mean, productions when they wanted to, like, if they want, if they say they program a day to shoot at this particular house, that day, say, starting's gonna shoot at 8 o'clock. They have the wardrobe vans there. They have the catering. Even the shot is for like a 2 minute dialogue conversation in that movie. They set
Mm.
up there the whole day just to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was pretty like amazed at how, and I sort of think ahead and just wish that we should have something like. I mean, I just think of the days when this is going to happen in PNG, where
Yeah.
we have a
Yeah.
full-on PNG
Production
crew
going on.
and cast and production.
I,
And I
I
just I
can't
just
even.
I just think about the like the music industry and say, it's if that can happen to the music industry in terms of like music production, I think it will happen to the film industry as well.
That's
Um,
true.
Yeah.
Can I ask if you think so? Like with the music industry, you're talking about it being decentralized now, huh? So they don't have to go to CHM. They get to like go about produce. I guess they make the music on themselves, but then when they want to publish it, don't they still have to go to CHM? Like, well, I mean, they can just put it on Spotify and stuff like that. They don't need CHM anymore, right? I mean, I don't actually know
Well,
how this works.
I
That's why I'm
think
asking.
well nowadays you can, depending on the quality of your music. Before, I think, say 10 years ago, iTunes or Spotify, like they were really picky on what songs they put on the platform.
Right.
Like your final mix had to be at a certain bit rate, all those, I mean, audio terms.
The
Yeah.
quality had to be good,
Yeah,
up to a certain standard.
there, yeah, had to be, yeah. And so most of those things were done by like production labels like CHM. So like at the time, if you had a song, go to CHM and they sort of master it to the requirements for the CD or cassette, anything, and they release it for you. But I think nowadays, this new app that came out in PNG, yeah? M Gems or something. I
Right.
think
Oh, I
all the
didn't.
artists are just posting their songs on there, and yeah,
Sorry, what's it called again?
M Gems.
Engines.
I don't even have the app, but I see these
I mean,
music
I'm not
artists
in.
sharing there.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
I'll
think
have to
there's
ask some of my friends who are musicians.
I think there's like different places now where they can sort of
Yeah,
post their music now.
it's becoming a yeah.
It's becoming a thing. I mean, yeah, like even just posting, like some of these people you guys are talking about, like they make the indie films or whatever. Like right now, the only avenue open to them is to like post it on Facebook, but there's no, I guess there's no prestige to it or legitimacy to just posting on Facebook or posting on
Right.
YouTube. And like we don't have like that formal pipeline that will invite like more film critics like the type of I don't know there's like a prestige to doing things like the formal way with like having a normal movie industry and stuff like that. We don't even have the infrastructure in Papua New Guinea. I guess
That
that's
is
the big
correct.
Right.
problem.
That is correct. Yeah, like I mean, compared to the music industry, we at CHM, but with the film industry, we don't have a
Yeah,
film industry CHM
we
in
don't have a
PNG.
CHM.
Right.
So yeah,
You
so
need
like
that.
what I was,
You would need that to bridge that gap,
yeah,
or at least bring out
uh,
aspiring filmmakers, bring
yeah.
them up to the fore.
I think um I mean personally, what I think right now is there could be filmmakers out there who have like potential, and I think one of the ways to bring them out is, since we don't have a CHM. For like, I mean, I'm just like, I'm just saying like CHM, CHM in the music industry. We don't have
Yeah,
a CHM
yeah.
for film.
Films,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
we don't have a big production
Equivalent, an
company.
equivalent.
Equivalent
Movie.
CHM for the
Yeah.
film industry.
Mhm.
Is that we could, help this industry. The industry could grow itself by having, you know, we could have radio stations or TV stations come up with like competitions. Yeah, like
Film festivals.
film festivals or competitions.
Yeah,
So the more we have people making films, the more they gain exposure. The more like filmmakers build that passion. So they know what they're making the film for. You know, like we give them a reason to make that film. You know.
exactly.
I can I can actually already see how this would work because like you have the film festivals to give like a short-term money prizes to the
Mm,
young guys making the movies that motivates them to make the movies rather than let their skills go to waste. So they're
exactly.
there practicing making films, but then that
Exactly.
also attracts bigger investors. So some of these films might
That's
actually
it.
genuinely pop off. They might be good enough
Exactly.
to like make a big impact on YouTube and stuff like that. And that shows investors that hey, this is lucrative, right?
Yes.
These
Yeah,
films that these young
That's
guys
it.
are making are actually good. And so now you have something to show the investors, the people that Pele was having trouble convince all this time. Like
See the
they can
potential.
now see that the films are being produced, and then they come in, they invest the money, and then like we can actually create an official production studio to release this film out in like a pipeline, and start to actually get the ball rolling. But start from like the small film festivals as a way to kickstart.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea. I can see it.
That's it. Yeah. I did a 2-minute film competition, I think 2 years ago, just to test,
Right.
on my Facebook page, and I did have a few submissions.
Entries. Yeah.
Entries. Yes. I think Dell did. I mean, Dell was aware of that competition,
Yeah.
and based on that experience, I needed more exposure on the actual competition itself.
Right.
We did have some good sponsors, really good sponsors. I think the first prize was like $5,000, Kina.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I think there was the first to fifth prize, and we had judges. I had judges like Macaulay Koima. I even had a judge from here in Australia.
Okay.
There was another one from Libya, a filmmaker
That's
from
great.
Libya. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And yeah, the only thing that lacked with that competition was the exposure to the public. I was only sort of pushing on Facebook, and I think I did one ad run on the newspaper, on one of the papers, and that was it. And everything happened
marketing,
online.
yeah.
Everything happened online, like the announcing the winners and everything. It happened online. So, based on that, I think that there's a big potential for and like what Bonzai is saying, we created avenue for sorry, excuse me, we created avenue for these aspiring filmmakers to come out, and they may have the potential for big investors to. And the more we do it, the more these big investors will want to put their money to things like this.
Yeah.
And then we may attract these big production companies from even USA, Australia, who may wanna.
That's a
And
good point.
they may pick out some actors from these little films, huh?
Sure.
Hey,
Actors,
these
writers.
actors got a potential. Yeah, some of these big
There's
Hollywood
potential
film.
there. There's potential. Yeah.
This big Hollywood actors came out from little short films.
Indie films.
Some of them, yeah, and once we have that exposure, I think PNG's film industry will just boom.
Yeah,
So
I really
Yeah.
like your idea about doing like small film competitions, because like I know a friend who like loves making films and stuff like that, but there's nothing really in it for him. He did it. He picked up all of these skills and the lessons, but there's no motivation for him to keep going. So right now, as it stands, we can't make like the big pipeline and like big movies and stuff like that. But with the
Yes.
small competitions, that will motivate people like them to
Motivate
keep
people.
making movies, because that's like the chance for them to win prizes, and then like they keep the skills
Yeah.
going.
That's
And then they
it.
create content that people can show. People like Pili can show, and then do the infrastructure groundwork from there on.
True.
So, but yeah, that's a
That's
good.
a great idea. I think that someone needs to follow through and do
Yeah.
more of those
You could make it
film
an annual
festivals.
thing,
Yeah.
Annual thing, yeah.
Competitions, film festivals, those type of things. Create that interest and start building like a community behind it. Like, yeah.
And I just wanted to support something that you said earlier, because basically Pili as well too came up with the same conclusion, and it's the fact that there are so many stories in our country, right? Like so many different, like we have so many Tumbuna stories and stuff like that, and they're just waiting to get. It's like we're an untapped
right.
reserve of, other than resources like gold and whatever in our soil, our people too are an untapped reserve of like stories that are just waiting to go up there. Hollywood keeps recycling, Disney keeps recycling its old movies because they
Yeah,
run
that's
out
it.
of
Same old
material. They
stories,
run out of
same old
credit.
plots. Yeah,
They're creatively bankrupt out there, and they're dying for content. And then, like us here, we're
exactly.
dying for the ability to make the content.
Yeah,
So it's like
Yeah.
opposite problems on
true.
opposite sides of the world.
If
That's
only
right.
we can
Exactly.
Yeah,
combine them, combine those two
True.
worlds.
Yeah.
honestly.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so much like stories, like old legends and things that we could tell.
We got thousands of stories. See, I was actually talking to one of these filmmakers here as well, and he was telling me about how um how the world, I mean, how we may have no idea that there are like people out there in the world who may love our stories, or who may
Right? Yeah.
like there's a market out there for PNG
Mhm.
stories.
Yeah.
And once those stories come out, like as in film, and it goes out to the world, I'm sure we're gonna be, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a lot of people out there who are gonna be, or like wanting to come to PNG, and I mean, that'll be a good thing for tourism too, because once we make films and show our
That's
background,
it.
our
Yeah.
culture,
It's
our
all linked.
vegetation,
Yeah.
and then people will, say that's this. I mean, PNG is this part of the world.
Yeah.
Even some of these Australians down here, or when I'm at work and I'm being sent to different sites, and they ask me where you from, and I'm said I'm from Papua New Guinea,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Where is that?" And
Oh my goodness.
sometimes I'm like surprised, like Papua New Guinea is the closest neighbor to Australia,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then I think
My goodness.
the simplest explanation I give them to understand is we share a border with Indonesia,
Yeah. That's
and
it.
they're like, "Ah, okay, okay."
Next door to
So
They know
Indonesia.
Indonesia, but not us. What? Oh my god.
yeah, and I try to and then so I try to clarify. No, we are not Indonesians. We just share the border, but yeah,
My
we're the
goodness.
closest neighbor. You know where like Cairns is? Yeah, Cairns, the little tip on the top,
Yeah.
and just go
Yeah.
up a little bit. That's us up there. They're like, oh, okay.
I mean,
I mean, sometimes it like frustrates me
yeah.
that I have to explain this to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like what the
it's
hell?
it's it's either they're dumb, or PNG is not really or I mean PNG is not really exposed enough.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what I'd say.
And
Uh,
what exposure we do get is kind of negative too. So
that's it exactly. Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
need to change the tide, sort of thing, and like the film industry, I think we can show a positive light as well to PNG, which I think we're dying for
Exactly.
that. We really need that positive image.
Yeah,
And I mean,
exactly. Yes,
we're
yes.
talented. Like PNG people are very talented, and like I feel like it's a waste. It's like not it's untapped talent that's
Untapped.
not being
Untapped.
discovered. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like these people doing amateur
Yeah.
stuff on Facebook, and that talent will go to waste eventually because there's no avenue for them to, you know, follow the for the
Yeah.
even think that there is a potential for them to further their career into film or something
Right.
like that. So right now it's just all for
Yeah.
fun, and there's nothing really happening. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's only a matter of time, but I just really wish it would happen sooner than sooner than
Sooner.
later.
Honestly.
True.
And
Yeah.
just to kind of back up like everything, like, I'm just sort of adding more fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
So remember, I did a video earlier about like the Solomon Islands China Pact last year and everything.
Yes.
So
yeah.
one of the interesting facts that I came across then was that, like, in terms of Solomon Islands, like, they're a much smaller country than us. They have a much smaller population, but like so many of them are intelligent, and they wind up going to university and picking up like university level skills in Australia, in Papua New Guinea. There's a lot of Solomon Islands students at UPNG right now, and I mean,
Yeah.
they have all these skills, but then they go back to their country, and it's not just in the arts, but even in other industries too. There's no avenue for them to utilize the talents that they have or the skills they learn at university, or
Right.
even in the case that we're talking about now, it's like skills like making movies and stuff, which it's not something they learned at uni, but usually it's like self-taught. But it's the same thing. they have these talents there, and it's just going to waste because there's no industry or application to one of them. But
Yeah,
like this
that's true.
idea that our people don't have the capacity to do it, I think is an archaic idea that just doesn't belong. Like, no, our people definitely can do a lot of things. We can be engineers and scientists. Lots of
Exactly.
people are right now who have those knowledge, but will work as a taxi driver, driving around the place. But the potential is there. It's just a matter of finding ways to tap this. Every now and then people
Use
keep
it.
talking about the natural resources in Papua New Guinea, and they talk about the gold and stuff like that. But the human resource
The
too
biggest
is like
resource
a
is
major
there.
neglected
Yeah.
resource, and it's renewable too. Like,
Yeah.
why are we spending our time on these other irrenewable resources when we could
Mm.
be, trying to set up things like this film and stuff which can generate tourism and like I
Exactly.
don't know. Sorry, I tend to take these small things and turn them into big problems. But yeah,
No,
I'm
but it's
just
true
looking
though.
at
It's
all this
true.
and it's just
It's
like,
a
yeah,
it's an
Yeah.
industry. It's a moneymaker as well for the country. I mean, it's
Yeah.
potentially like an industry could boom out of it and create wealth
Mm.
for the country and better our people. Like, why
Yeah.
isn't it's just frustrating to me. Like, why isn't someone like the
And
I hate to shout at the government too much, but
yeah.
someone in
I mean,
power needs to
that's
do
one of the
something.
yeah. Someone in power needs to really, like Bonzai was saying, someone in power needs to really have faith that we can do these things,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and at least take the risk and throw this money. Hey, look, just do what
yeah.
we can, and
It's yeah,
uh,
it's
I think they don't see the bigger picture.
potential, the bigger picture. Like
Yeah.
the issue, it's not even just like foreign investors, but even like our own leaders there, like government or even just like local businessmen. Even a local businessman who's not in government could make a difference because with a
yeah,
lot of these things, it's just kind of like money. If someone can just
Mm.
add some extra coins, they can buy the extra equipment or hire the actors and actors. Because I feel like
Yeah.
Billy didn't explicitly say it, but I think I'm just sort of inferring that one of the hurdles that he comes across is that there's like a stall in coins and then they can't push forward with a project. So then things just go into limbo and they die. So that's just me
Yeah.
inferring from what he said. He didn't explicitly
True.
tell me that.
yeah.
Mm.
But a good point. I
Mm.
mean, I think that the idea with the film festival and
Mm.
short film competitions, that's a really good solution to things because it's like a bottom up kind of approach where it's like the communities creating something. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
So instead of trying to wait for the government to do anything or someone
Local
to come and
businessmen.
step in, yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
community should be coming together and trying to create those things, competitions and film festivals and stuff. So I think that's out of the discussion tonight. I think that's a real positive. Like,
Yes,
if we
I
can
agree.
ask Billy what he thinks about it, maybe he'll say, "Oh, that's been done," or I don't know. But I think it's a really good idea.
I think that's the way forward.
Yeah,
For if nobody wants, they want, like, some people want to see first before doing it, then let's
yeah,
probably build the
I
industry
mean,
with just
crowdfund.
yeah.
no, that's really good.
I don't know if crowdfund is the proper term, but it's the idea that comes to my mind.
Yeah, what is
Yeah.
crowdfunding actually, buddy?
Crowdfunding is when you're trying to start up, like, let's say you're trying to make a movie and you can't get those big investors. So what you can do is you go around to like the public and you basically say, "Oh, I'm trying to make this story." Like basically at this point you have to kind of sell your movie rather than
Right.
selling it to investors. You're selling it to public, and then you collect like small amounts of
Yeah.
Oh,
Public
okay, like
invest
get
in your movie.
donations. Yeah.
donations and
But
yep.
Yeah.
crowdfund is not from you're not going to big company, like you're going to like maybe at most local businessmen, but if not, like literally just letting people know on the street, putting up a sign and then making a booth and maybe people come by
Yeah.
and you let them know and then they donate to you.
Right.
It's a much more sophisticated version of begging, essentially, I
But
guess.
there are online sites as well that you can
Yes,
do that,
yes.
like Kickstarter and
Patreon
Right.
and
yeah, Indiegogo or something. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
remind me of like comic books.
Yeah.
But yeah, in PNG, most likely crowdfunding would be more grassroots as opposed to on these Indiegogo and stuff like that.
Yeah. True.
That's what I
True.
was thinking.
All right, guys. I would like to just discuss one topic. I don't know if any of you guys have heard about it, but since we're talking about film, those Hollywood actors going on strike. Have you guys heard
Uh,
about that news story?
yes, I've been
Yes.
following that indirectly. Yes,
What's that all about?
but um, I kind of have a lot to say about this. But does Rich want to go first? Munchie want to go first?
You can go ahead first. You can go ahead first. Yes.
Okay. So this whole Writers Guild America, there's like a
Yeah.
lot of different factors. How I came to know about it is because I'm an AI enthusiast, and one of the things that is they're complaining about a lot of things, but one of the things that they're complaining about or worried about is how AI is going to sort of impact their industry. So it started with the Writers Guild of America. So the
Yes.
Writers Guild is the guild that represents all the writers in America, and for
And then there's a
one
film
thing, it's like
actress one as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you also look at the box office in general in Hollywood, over the past few years, they've been putting out trash movies, and in exchange, they haven't been getting back money, right? Like movies have just been more or less getting worse. And if you look at the amount of money that Hollywood has been making, it's been going down and down and down. Disney is 100 billion in debt right now.
Wow.
In fact, collectively, I think most of the major Hollywood studios are about 500 billion in debt right now. They've just been making loss after loss after loss since COVID. You can't really blame COVID anymore because COVID ended like 2 years ago, and even after the pandemic ended and things started to resume normalcy, movies were still not making money. So, like, I'm just sort of bringing this down. So the studios are making a lot of money. They don't have a lot of money to spend. They're not paying a lot of writers the amount of money that the writers want and stuff like that.
Okay.
Their money goes down. And then at the same time, the writers are worried about other external factors, like, for example, AI. So that's where I came into this story because I follow AI, and then I learned that the writers are also worried about AI taking their jobs. So they have a bunch of list of grievances, and they want assurances from the studios. They want the studios to say that, okay, yes, such and such is in the future going to happen, but we're still going to pay you this amount of money. And then on the studios' end, they don't want to spend extra money that they don't have. You think?
Yeah.
So it's like the studios haven't been making money, and at the same time, the writers are asking for more money.
Right,
so you have this situation where nobody wants to like budge.
Clash,
And now
they clash now.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's been going on for about 2 months now, and then now the actors. I'm not necessarily sure why the actors. I think maybe they're not getting paid too, but I think primarily they're doing it in solidarity with the writers. So the writers have been on strike, and now the actors too are going on strike to hammer things home support. Yeah. So that's how I understand the situation.
Oh, good. Thank you. Because I didn't follow
That's
it.
exactly true. That's exactly true. The actors have been. It's been going on for like too long now that these actors, movie production companies make billions and billions of money, but some of the things that the actors don't get is like, just like one of them is like health insurance, and that you have to be paid a minimum of something amount to be able to get health insurance. That's like one of the things.
Right.
And I've been watching this show called Chosen, and they're into the
Angel Studios.
Yes, they are shooting the 4th season now, and they are just into the last 2 weeks of shooting, and this strike comes up, and they're like, they are also with the strike, but they are also, saying like, let's just finish off the movie.
Yeah.
So they've been applying for, they applied for what do you call it, an exemption.
Right.
So that they can work through the strike and finish off the. So it's a bit chaotic. I mean, what's going on now in Hollywood at the moment?
Hollywood.
Yeah. It's interesting.
So,
we'll try and keep an eye on it as well.
Changes coming.
Yeah.
True.
But we've reached the hour mark, guys. But like, I really appreciate the chat, and you coming on, taking the time to come on. Hopefully we do it soon again, if you're able to.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on, and I hope we do it again sometime.
Yeah, this is great.
I'm sure Bunny had much more to talk about, but we
that's fine. That's fine.
Ran out of time, but maybe even we'll try to get Bunny on again as well if you're free, and we'll do some more chatting about anything and everything, the film industry, content creation, and there's so many topics we can discuss, right?
Yeah. So many topics. Almost down. I'll always be down to talk.
And if you're down as well, you guys, to do a reaction video, like a joint one, if you're down to do one,
Yeah.
I'm really keen to do that with you. We can
Oh, sure.
pick a video,
Sounds good.
react to it.
Sounds good.
Ooh. Okay. Sorry. So piggybacking on what you said about Chosen, have you guys been following the movie? Okay. Sorry. No. This is kind of a hard. It's not a fun reaction. It's gonna be a bit darker, on the darker tone.
Oh, good.
Do you guys want to do something fun first, and then we circle back to a movie trailer? Basically, I want to suggest a movie trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys, okay, so if you guys done, so the Angel Studios, the same movie, studio that made Chosen, they also made another film that has been in limbo for 5 years, and it's called The Sound of Freedom. Have
Sound
you
of
guys
Freedom,
heard about this?
I did.
No,
I
I
did.
haven't. Oh, Munchies has.
Yeah.
I think it
Munchie
was in.
has.
I think it was in limbo with it was I mean produced.
Thank you,
but never
Carol. Thank you
released,
so
and it was
much.
just
Never
hanging in
released.
Hope you're having a
Yeah.
good night.
with Disney.
Disney
or
wasn't
something.
willing to release it.
And then
for
Angel
certain
Studios. Angel Studios bought it off from them, and then they put it into the cinemas on the same day as what's the other movie that came out?
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
And you know what? That movie made, I think, 4 million more on that day than Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, Sound of Freedom,
Sound of Freedom.
Yeah.
So
and it's already out.
So,
the film's
it's
been
already
released.
out. Yes. So the idea behind it is it follows a. You know what? Maybe we should let him react blind, eh?
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's.
Let's
yeah.
just
I
keep
don't want
my
to
eyes
say too much.
closed, and I won't research it as well.
Yeah.
But you've seen,
I don't know
you've
if-
both seen the film.
I don't
or-
know.
I haven't seen it yet. But
Have you seen the trailer? Have you seen the trailer?
No. Munchies, have you seen the trailer?
Munchie.
Yes, I have.
You
Yes.
see-
Okay. I don't know if it was good to suggest this Munchie, but
No, it's this. I mean, this film really caught my attention because of
It's in a-
because Netflix rejected it,
Right.
and Amazon
So-
rejected it as well.
all of the big companies
Why?
rejected it. Nobody wanted
Yeah.
to touch it.
I don't know, because of the controversy of the story, or
Oh,
It's no,
or
that's
what
the thing. It's
story.
ridiculous.
I don't
bro.
know. Yeah.
No, it's too big. If this again, I could spend 20 minutes explaining it. It's ridiculous. There's no reason. It shouldn't be a controversy. The topic of this film shouldn't be a controversy. Everybody in the world agrees this is a bad thing. Why are you saying that it's? It doesn't matter who. Like, so basically, the idea is like the people who sort of supported this film when it was in its initial stage are somewhat controversial, but in my opinion, it doesn't matter if those people are controversial, because the film itself is important. It covers a true story, and it talks about a real bad negative issue
And
that people should know about.
topic. Yeah.
Well,
An
so
issue,
It doesn't
yes.
matter who
well, it is a
you
true,
know, you don't
true
shoot
story
the
then.
messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the story, the message is important. What it gets. Yeah, anyway. So we found it yet?
I'll have to try and watch it.
Yeah, sorry.
But
we must
we'll
have-
try. We'll try and leave that for another stream, I think. And
Yeah. Okay. You should record your own. You know what? That's a content for yourself. Record your reaction and post it.
yeah, we'll try and do that. We'll try and record it, and post it up on YouTube or something.
But yeah, Sound of Freedom, guys. If you guys haven't heard of it, whoever's watching, check that movie out.
Yeah.
I'll probably do a video about it sometime soon.
All right. So anyway, thank you guys. I will end things there. But again, if you wanted to check out Bonzai's channel on YouTube, feel free to check him out. Link is in the description. And also Munchies here on YouTube as well.
Yes.
Yep. So Munchies as Munchies Strike, or
No, well, I can. You want me to drop the link in the comments, or?
yeah, sure. Feel free to
Yeah.
drop it.
I'm looking at your page right now. I can drop the link.
Okay. Yes.
So otherwise, Munchies is also on Facebook. Feel free to type in Munchies Strike and you find him. And Richard Sargent Photography, which I've also put a link in the description. And he's also got a YouTube channel he's going to post in the chat shortly. But on that note,
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, and we'll be definitely talking again, hopefully,
Yes.
in the next week or so. So
Looking forward to.
have a good
Thanks for
night.
having me, Dale. Yes.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Bonnie, thanks so much,
And
bro.
yeah, thanks a lot as well for having me. I'm always happy to stop by anytime you
Yeah.
need me to. It's always great to
Thanks,
be
bro.
here.